Yeah, it's also Thomas Hospital. They're the right big public hospital. That's what NHS means, National Health Service. But a huge big public hospital, biggest and second oldest Nightingale. That's where it all starts. I don't want to trivialise Florence Nightingale. She's like definitely a real heroine. Saved countless lives, like literally countless lives. But her two show up absolutely hammered and just operate there and then. Someone's kitchen table, the floor, that sort of thing. But put an end to that with Florence Nightingale's being absolutely scandalous. Which is like sort of why I suspect it's remained there. Sort of a testament to that. Now, when these lights in front of us, when they change, there's a view of the London Eye right next to us. Slowly trudging along, but York Road used to be like a famously sketchy place, like you definitely wouldn't hang around here. Definitely get stabbed or robbed if you hang around here long enough. Not so much these days, quite gentrified. Kind of hard to imagine though. This place was literally just a derelict brewery till its facade there on the right. Doubles up as the War Memorial, so you see the plaques in the doorway, staff that fought in the First and Second World Wars. Anyway, actual reason for it though is that Waterloo is named after a French military defeat, for the first place the French tourists were seen coming to the UK was a reminder of a French military defeat. I mean, Britain, the IMAX, owned and operated by the BFI, which is a cult cinema beneath this bridge we're about to drive over. Now the BFI, if you're younger than 26, which I think all this bus is, right, you get tickets there for £3, which is a bargain. A bargain, I'd say. Now on the left, between these two buildings, you can see a good view of the London Eye and Big Ben sort of flanking each other. Susan Callum's a lot. Anyway, if you missed that photograph, don't worry, not all is lost. This bridge, Waterloo Bridge, and the widest bridge over there, you'll see the entirety of Westminster, London Eye, Houses of Parliament, Big Ben, Horse Guards Hotel, Ministry of Defence, New Scotland Yard, and Golden Jubilee Bridge, Britain's ugliest bridge by a country mile. All that stuff on the left. Good views though on the right as well, and you can see St Paul's Cathedral, most of the city, Shard, Boxall, Barbican, Royal Court, Justice, all. Somerset House is this building on the right, used to be a royal palace but got sold by the royal family to the government in the early 19th century, and now it's just owned by the government. So depressing, I know, but it's just owned by the government for whatever reason. Well, I know why. The Navy has their offices all there. There's almost an art gallery in there as well, and quite a few good restaurants, so that's interesting enough. The courtyard down in the middle is interesting enough. It's a period courtyard. There's music festivals in there. Have one right now, which is pretty neat. Big stage set up in the middle. Have an ice skating rink there in winter as well, which is pretty neat. Up this hill in front of us, that goes towards Covent Garden, big restaurant and bar district, right in the middle of the city. Lots of theatres are here as well. We're near West End, so you can see the Lyceum, which shows a Lion King. That's one of the bigger theatres in London. The Lyceum has like a 3,000 capacity. The only theatre in London that isn't haunted as well. All of that in West End, lots of theatres are concentrated in there, including the Bellows there as well, which is going on. Lots of theatres all around this part of London. That building behind all the scaffolds in front of us, all on the left hand side of the street, that's the Waldorf Hotel, King's College, one of the big universities in London. One of their rivals, London School of Economics, on the left just there. Australia's high commission is there on the right. You see a bunch of Australian state flags from the Second World War, which is pretty cool. Serves as like a de facto war memorial, not a war memorial. On the left, that's the Royal Court of Justice. That's the highest civil court in the entire country. That building is huge, 5 miles of doorways, 50 dragon on top. That's the Cannibal Bar Monument. Not ruined Westminster now in the city of London. The Romans found a 1 square mile walled Roman city, and that's really what people think 1 square mile, or at least the outline of the original 1 square mile walled Roman city. So this is the oldest part. Everything else is just the countryside when this was founded. This is the oldest part. People will be living in this part of London 2,000 years straight, at least. And I emphasize the fact that no one really knows when London was founded. Basement, open enough to see flowing water beneath it flowing into the Thames. Okay, so first thing. Oh yes, that's what we can see. And running now. Then you come here to the next step called Old Bailey. Down Old Bailey is the Old Bailey. That's the highest criminal court in the country. There's a 22-ton solid gold statue of justice on this field. There is a devil down there. Justice, look at it. Our next stop is our stop number 11. It's our stop for St. Paul's. 35 years to build St. Paul's. Built in 1710. That is Queen Anne at the front. So this is our stop number 11. Our stop for St. Paul's Cathedral. It's pretty cool. It's not bad luck. First two stars at night. Faces east like most cathedrals. Big as well. And the Latin saying is wrong. Which is pretty much like 17th century. So, I think it really nice. You look back at the blue light, right, and say a blue dome right at the top. That's the Whispering Gallery. Above the blue dome, there's a balcony right at the top. That's a top viewing platform. 538 steps. It's the 6 St. Paul's Theatre that keeps burning down. This one's been there since 1710, for a fair while. Years. Now I keep saying this is the oldest part of London, but these buildings are particularly old. Given because it was taken down or blown up by the same Central European countries, with ending with G and ending with Y. Over and again. What failures? Give away if you do not. They're too close. There's an entire underground Roman temple to the god Mithras, which is staggering. That's a 1,700-year-old St. Paul's Cathedral, chronically undervisited, that museum, I have to admit, chronically undervisited. Flagpole on it, on our right-hand side with the big window with the blue railings outside and the gold lanterns. That's Mansion House, that's where the Lord Mayor lives. Not bad for a family of 4, is it? Pretty serious house, it's so big. It include like having like, a massive house, having a huge hat, big cake, having a huge parade. That's pretty cool. There's a bunch of neat stuff. The Lord Mayor. He's not like a real politician. He used to be seriously powerful back in the day. This place is going, I don't know. At least not being a city-state when they started taking the monarch's pick of mayor back in the 16th century. And just remain that way in the Senate. Now, on the left, opposite the governor and the Bank of England works, they have their famous £1 million notes there, as well as all the nation's gold reserves, which is pretty cool. Now, if you're planning on robbing that bank, I'll look the other way, don't worry, I won't dog you in, but be warned, right? The vaults that have all the gold and the £1 million notes there, they're hidden behind a vault that takes a 3-foot long key. 3 foot, right? So you can see why fire spreads so quickly, to say the least. Now, the fire started on Pudding Lane, which isn't very far away from where we are, actually. And it's said to have started by, it did start, by a candlestick falling over in a bakery on Pudding Lane, and then the entire road is catching fire, and the rest, burning down all of London. Now, it's athletes ever lived. Now, this road there on the left, for the Waitrose, look down there, and that's where the monument is. You can see the balcony right at the top as well. That's the monument to the Great Fire. Tower Bridge. Cool. Now, Tower Bridge is pretty cool. We're going to drive over it, so I'll talk all about it when we're right next to it. But in front of Tower Bridge there's that warship, that's the HMS Belfast. Now, the HMS Belfast is part of the Imperial War Museum, so you can visit it if you want to go on there. Belfast fought in the Korean War and in D-Day as well. So you can go on there, pretend you're fighting Nazis, or North Koreans, or Nazi North. Pretty expensive place. My word to the wise, right? Save money by going to the bar instead of the viewing platform. People ask what's better. went last time. Like, I kind of cool. I was one step away myself. Yeah. Brings up the bus drivers.
Yeah, I've got still got marks all over the car of the boy.
It's like my leading over, right, to minimise the size of the roof, so the sun heats most of it, right? Save energy in central heating, which, and it works, it makes sense, right? But it got itself a nickname, the testicle, almost instantly, thanks to its shape, which is not very nice at all. But it's called that, and that combined with the shard is like a terrible, terrible mistake. So you're built in 1894, Tower Bridge. It's 30 years younger than the underground, bizarrely. It's not very old, only just 125 when the underground, yeah. It's 155, or almost 155. Now, it's what's called a combined bascule and suspension bridge. So what that means is those two towers hold up the way. You'll see Tower Bridge open. Originally the cable's like an aubergine colour, but they changed it to blue, so that Queen Victoria's Jubilees, which is pretty cool, and it's remained that way ever since. Victorians hated the building. The Victorians thought it was so crass and vulgar. Thought it was like so Disneyland, but it's too iconic to get rid of now. There's the cityscape on our left though, so nicknames of those buildings, there's the walkie-talkie on the left, next to it is Dracula's Palace, cheese grater, the scalpel, the gherkin, and the can of ham all across there. And there's City Hall, just behind it. Back at the Belfast there as well, part of the Imperial War Museum. Now this part of the bridge, right, the drive over, this is the part that opens up and down. You can see the pavement, you can use the bobbers, you can walk across there. You see the open glass platform in the middle, that's pretty cool. You can look straight down as it opens up. Only takes 90 seconds for the Tower Bridge to open and close, which is pretty neat. Now if you're planning on chartering your warship through the Thames, well, maybe you are, right? Only to give the bridge master 24 hours warning and they'll open Tower Bridge for you, and it's free. That's pretty cool. Costs absolutely nothing. Now it's designed to look like a romanticised Norman castle, because on the left of this, on leaving Tower Bridge, is an actual pool in there, as well as nano-drilled bathtub as well. So yeah, that's neat. Now, it's most famously a castle and a prison, the tower, but three, so a whole number of different things. You see where the moat used to be, just on the outside? Now, if you're going to the tower, which I would wholeheartedly recommend, it's one of the things you sort of have to see whilst you're here.